All right, so I'm going to jump into my handy dandy notebook here. All right, so be prepared to adjust. Kind of, we've touched on it. People are reluctant, and that's cool. Let them be reluctant. The main goal here to fight reluctancy is to get them to nod their head. Okay, this is one of the greatest sales techniques for closing that anyone will ever teach you. Just get them to nod their head. During your presentation, during the pitch, during the introduction, just ask them questions. And like even when you're doing pitches, you'll notice like when I'm in my webinar mode or when I'm doing a sales pitch, I ask, "Are you getting this? Right? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Or do you understand what I'm saying? Is this blowing your mind? Right? I'm getting them to, yeah, right. It's kind of funny. I don't remember who. I think it might have been Russell Brunson that was talking about it, but he was talking about like this. And if you've ever gone to a live seminar and you watch the public speaker speaking, they're doing that to the audience, right? And you watch like all the heads just bobbing up and down in agreement, right? And at the end, when they sell, people are so in the mode of saying yes that when it comes time to ask for the sale, then they're more likely to buy, right? So the reason why I'm doing the whiteboard here is because you're going to have, and I'm just going to use really basic pricing, right? We're going to go with the big package of $1,000, then we're going to go slightly less at 750, and then we're going to have like a $400 package, right? What is going on here? What was that all about? Glitcheroo, $400. So I've said it before in the pricing section. I've said it before, even in the last section. Don't let your ego get in the way. Never lower your price. Lower the package. Lower the value. Okay, that's all I'm saying here. So obviously, this one is going to be you're going to have like 10 different things that you're selling, right? Whereas this one, you're probably only going to have 7 different things, and this one, you probably only have 3 things that you're selling, right? So be prepared to adjust. Now, this is it. After you give your speech, just understand, right? Because you've been getting them to nod their head, you've been getting them to nod their head, and if they're reluctant, all you have to do is ask them a simple question, right? Just ask them, okay, so can I at least ask you this? Because you look like you were in agreement with me the whole time when I was doing it. It's by design. You're doing that on purpose, right? But it looked like you were in agreement with me through the whole time I was explaining it. So some of this you really fell in love with, right? Can you at least agree that this is a good idea? This is a good strategy? Can we at least agree and get them to nod their head again, right? What you're doing is you're getting them to admit that yes, this works, but there's one thing and it's the price. So they know that. So the strategic question you ask them, well, okay, so can we at least agree that this is a viable option? This is a good plan. It's a good strategy, and they say yes. So I'll tell you what. What's the biggest thing that's stopping you from signing up today? And they're always going to say price. It's always price. That's great. Okay, understood. So during the whole presentation, because you looked in your agreements, was there something that you were envisioning in your head? Like, was there a number that you were really crossing your fingers and hoping it would be at? Because I know you had to be thinking something. And the truth is, nobody's ever actually thinking of a number, but they don't want to look like they weren't. So it's that psychological thing, right? So they're going to throw out a number, and usually it's about $750. So if you're selling the $1,000, they automatically go. So that's when you can be like, well, you know what? I do have a $750 option. Let me tell you about that. You see what I'm saying? Now they've just agreed to work with you for $750. Now you're telling them about your $750 plan where you can pretty much give them the same exact thing, right? And always try to close on the spot. You never want to let them get away, but don't be pushy. Okay, don't just be like, well, what's it going to take for me to do that tonight? No, don't do that. Just say, hey, I really want to build a family here. I really want to make sure that we both walk out of here super excited that we're going to have this relationship. So if I could come down to that $750 price today, would you sign up? And obviously, if you have your package, and I think it was in lesson 16 when I said it. It might have even been in the ego section when I was talking about the ego. Was if you always want, I think it was David Sarno that said, if you always want to get your way, have multiple ways, and you'll always get your way. It's very valuable advice, right? Like you can even in this case, you can throw another one in there, right? If you have a $250 version, very basic thing where you're only like running Facebook ads for them, right? Well, it's $250 plus ad spend. So it's all up to you. This is where the arrogance of the salesman comes in, the cocky behavior where they're like, I gotta have that high ticket account, I gotta have it, and you're just pushing, and you end up becoming that pushy salesman, right? And people just pull away from you. So this is a really good strategy to close clients. And let's not forget, okay, because you're gonna put work into these clients, even if you're not taking care of them, if somebody else is taking care of them, you're going to be in contact with that white label agency, and you're going to be like, hey, they're not getting this. You need, because that's your job as the business owner. So you're going to come in here. Let's say they go with the $400 a month plan, right? And they're only doing this, but you're doing your job, and you're making sure that they're happy. Okay? Obviously, if they're happy, you can eventually get them to go to the $750 plan. What if they're on the $750 plan and they're happy? Then you can get them to go to the $1,000 plan in a month, okay? It's just upgrading, okay? And raising your prices periodically, every 3 months or 6 months, raise your prices. Send them an email, because it's more of a pain to switch marketing companies than it is to, we're making money, so go ahead, right? So don't be afraid. That's another way that you can increase your revenue. All right, but the point is, and I don't want to go off into that too much. The point is with this method is that always be prepared to adjust. Okay, never lower your prices, lower your package, lower your value. Okay, but have multiple values. See what I'm saying? You can't lose. Think about it. All right.